Hello guys, it's Ben Gutscher, lecturer of English for academic purposes at Duke Kunshan University, Excel Esports player, and MECC faculty fellow. And I have here today another case from this year's MECC Regionals, this one called Shadow Clan Ninja Challenge. Now this is a very different case from the cases that we typically get. This one is like a ninja challenge. It comes from the series of TV programs called Ninja Warrior, where in order to complete the entire, let's say, obstacle course, you take it one challenge at a time and you move through it until you reach the end. That's what we're doing here. We are given a total of 15 questions and we can only finish the next challenge, or we can only start the next challenge after we finish the previous challenge. Now, typically these worksheets are very locked down, so you can't get into the formulas, can't really see into it. But what we're given here at the top is we have the room for questions and our answers here. And then down below is the data that we get to work with. So follow along with me and let's see if we can solve all 15 of these questions through this challenge. Question number 1 asks, what is the team name for the code KLO321? And in these challenges, it's very nice that they give us important data to reference right below the question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to XLOOKUP that reference here into the codes column and return the team name column there. All right, we're on to question 2. Which team has the least amount of records in the data set? Now, whenever you get something about least and most, there's a couple of functions that I like to use. This one I like to use group by. So I'm going to, let's set our values. So our values is going to be the team name right there. And then with that, I am going to do a group by. So let's go group by those values. And I'm going to count A because they're text, right? And then for sort order, I'm going to sort by the second column in ascending order. So I'm going to use number 2, and we're going to keep it a positive 2 for ascending order. What that's going to do is that's going to take the lowest number of counts and put that at the top and put the highest number of counts at the bottom. So from that, I see that Nightfall is the team with the lowest amount of records in the data set. So I'm going to just take that formula and put it right up there. Question 3, how many ninja names are listed in more than one row? Treat ninja names with ninja emojis as different from those without. So once again, let's do group by. So group by, or let's let their values, I like to do it this way. Let the values be the ninja names. And from that, I am going to group by those values for the row headers, those values for the values, and then also once again count A. This time for sort order, I'm going to go -2. So I'm going to put highest at the top, lowest at the bottom. So what I can do from that is I can see how many of these are greater than, how many of these are greater than 1. I'm going to get 64. So I'm just going to type 64 up here. Question 4, find the last inspection date for smoke bombs. Well, dates are kept as numbers, right? And so the later you go, the larger the number is. So I'm just going to do maxifs, the inspection dates, where the gear type, which is in this column, is smoke bombs. There we go. Question 5. Count the number of ninja names with exactly 3 characters, including emojis. Note that emojis count as 2 characters in functions like len, left, and it's cut off on my screen. I don't know what it's like on your screen, but let me just copy paste values. Right. So what I'm going to do, let's do name length. Let's just create this as a new column and just do length of the ninja name there. And let's see how many of those are 3. So count if this name length is 3 right there below it. Question 6. Which of the teams has the most quantity of gear assigned? Once again, this is a good opportunity for my favorite function. So let values be, I'm not going to do single values. In fact, because this time when I do my group by, my row fields and my values are going to be different. So row fields are what I'm grouping by. In this case, I'm grouping by the teams, right? So let's group by teams. The values that I'm going to do math on is the quantity of gears. So let's do quantity, and then my function is going to be sum. And once again, because we want the team with the most gear, I'm going to set my sort order to -2. Once again, 2 for the second column, which is the math column, negative to sort it from highest to lowest. Here I see that Storm has 2,507 units of gear there. Once again, let me put an @ in there to take the first value from that array. Question 7. How many cloaks were inspected during the month of May? How many cloaks were assigned or inspected, right? Now we have a date here. Instead, I typically like to pull out the information. So I'm just going to have month in this column. And that's just going to be the month of the inspection dates in that column. So now I have an entire column just for a month. This is going to be easier. So now I could just sum ifs the quantity column where, what was it here? The gear type is cloaks. And then the month, which is in this column, is 5. Oh, I see cloak is already there. Let's reference that instead of typing it. That might be easier. Question 8. What is the code for the ninja whose mission type is dang and gear type is cloak? All right. Well, let's do a double X lookup. We could do this by concatenating columns together. So we want to find dang and cloak. And we're going to concatenate the mission type column and the gear type column here. Actually, I should put an and in the middle of that. So we're looking for a concatenated string. We're going to look at in a group of concatenated columns, and we are going to return, they want the mission number. Is that right? What is the code for the ninja? Right, so they want the code right there. So that's going to bring us our answer. Question 9, for those ninjas who have stealth as their mission type, how many have hooks as their gear type? All right, so we could do a two-part countifs statement. So countifs, how many is the mission type stealth, and how many is the gear type hooks? Right there. Question 10, how many teams is the ninja Kyo on? All right, well, let's see here. I think there's a few ways we could do this. I think what I want to do to keep it easy is I am going to filter the team names where the ninja name is Kyo. And once again, I should use the equal sign for this because that's how you write it in a filter statement. I see 2 names right there, so I know that means we're going to look for 2 names. I'm just going to put this in a rows function to turn that 2 rows into the number 2. Question 11. Total cost equals quantity times unit cost. What is the code for the entry with the highest total cost? Well, let's add a total cost column here. Total cost, and that is quantity times unit cost. So quantity times unit cost. And we want to find the one with the highest total cost. I like to use an @SortBy function for this. So @SortBy, we want the code, right? We're going to sort the codes by the total cost columns. We want the total cost to go largest to small. So that's going to be a -1. This @ is going to bring us whichever one is at the top. So that's going to be the one with the highest total cost, which is KLO293. Question 12. How many ninja names begin with at least 2 ninja emojis? Well, there's an easy way to do that. We are going to count if how many of these ninja names are 2 of that ninja emoji there. So what we could do is we could repeat that emoji twice and then anything after it. So I'm just going to add an asterisk after it just like that. Question 13. How many days elapsed between the first and last inspection dates for rows with durability greater than 3? Wow, there's quite a lot there. So let's do this. Let's filter all of the inspection dates where durability score is greater than 3. So that gets me all the dates here. I'm going to go ahead and sort that. So that gets me, there we go. That should get me from the first date to the last date. So now what I can do is I can take the last date, subtract it from the first date. So let me actually, I can just copy this and just take out the negative there. I could also do max and min. That's probably going to be an easier way to do that. Let's see if this formula works in that question. It does. Question 14, how many records have stealth as their mission type? All right, easy enough. Count how many of these mission types are stealth right there below it. There we go. And lastly, question 15. If the gear type is same for all entries and the unit cost is $10, what would the maximum total cost be? Easy enough. Let's do the maximum. Whoops, I'm typing that in the wrong cell. The maximum of the quantity times 10. There you go. We finished it. That is how you solve this ninja case. Now, In the instructions, there are some keys to give you shortcuts. So for example, it references named ranges, for example. So if I were to highlight this table and do Control Shift F3, I can create named ranges from it. So I can create named ranges from the top row. So it's going to be much easier. So like for this last question, I could just simply type max quantity times 10. Nope. That's not, oh, right. It's not square brackets. That's not a table. Just the word quantity is fine. That works as well. Hope you learned a bit from this video. Hope this can improve you in your Excel competitions. I wish you good luck for the next round, and we will see you for the next video.